the economy. Number two, on health. I am sure that you will agree with me when I say that health is wealth, implying healthy people, healthy nation. Out-of-pocket healthcare spending burdens our people, especially those with meager income, much more those who have no sure income at all. More often than not, budget for healthcare needs, especially pre-need and preventive type of healthcare services, take a backseat in favor of more basic needs such as food and shelter. The main concern is to achieve universal healthcare. We will reduce the cost of healthcare through technology and productive strategies. On education, we already have well-designed curricula and the educational system are already in place. What is needed is to deliver massive logistical requirements to relieve our teachers with this burden so that they will concentrate on finishing the textbooks prescribed in the comprehensive 10-year schooling, 6 years elementary and 4 years high school. After graduation, our children will already be well equipped with the required knowledge and tools to face the real world and join the labor market. College education is intended for specialization in certain fields. On public works, the focus will be on building quick gestation infrastructures integrated with productive enterprise. Integrated with productive enterprise requirements. The profits realized from investments in industries shall be used to finance infrastructure development. On trade and industry, the policy will be in support of the domestic market, a revival of Filipino First policy of President Carlos P. Garcia. We will push for high productivity and product standards that will help develop the local industries. We will make local, buy local, and export high-value added products. On agriculture, the focus will be on increasing optimum productivity in agriculture through the application of effective technology and building agri-industries as an antithesis to the land reform. The government will develop new farmlands on a massive scale. On peace and development, where there is no peace, no investment will thrive. Prosperity will be difficult to achieve. Taking off from the gains of peace, of peacemaking and peace-building efforts of past and this government, it is important for my government to continue peace talks and give enough time for government to simultaneously provide better technology and deliver sincere and impressive development programs that will awe and inspire them on what the government can do for them. All efforts shall be pursued to establish unity among our people and lasting peace for our nation, with allegiance to the Constitution. As a matter of duty as Filipinos, our sovereignty should never be compromised. Sovereignty can best be maintained if people shall trust and faith in government. However, it is imperative that a superior technology of warfare be put up by the government to suppress and deter any attempt for violence. This superior technology will minimize loss of lives and will be less costly in the end. All the foregoing discussions revolve around the importance of productivity in stimulating economic progress. According to the Bible, in the letter of Paul to the Thessalonians, I quote, "Even while we are with you, we gave you this rule: whoever does not work should not eat." And I say, and this is my political statement, which everybody should hear: we will put pressure on every man to do his work well, or you are fired. Guided by this general principle, there is a need to overcome the constraints that may hinder our productivity in the workplace. The country is perceived as one big workplace composed of all development players in the government and in the private sector. Enumerated in this slide are the major constraints to productivity, which are self-explanatory. However, allow me to highlight some major points for emphasis. First is the availability of basic materials at competitive costs. The country is rich with material resources, which we should learn to use wisely for production. We will produce other materials that are needed by the industries to be competitive. Second is labor. The government will have to actively assist business leaders on how to best manage and mobilize our greatest resource, our people. There should be conscious efforts to invest on improving our workers' productive skills and instilling in them high productive work ethics. Third is equipment. There is a need to invest more to modernize and expand our equipment resources. Fourth is facilities. Adequate and advanced facilities required for production should be made available. Fifth is finance. The principal here is investment in productive business enterprises. Small private savings should be channeled to more viable investments in industries. Policies and support measures shall be employed to reduce the cost of doing business, particularly in loss control in enterprises. Sixth is technology. We need to allocate more resources in research and development and import, if we must, the best technologies. Lastly is time, which involves the need to prioritize implementation of short gestating programs that would provide immediate benefits to the economy. In Metro Manila, if I may mention,
2 minutes.
We have the Metro Guapo program, our flagship program. Metro Guapo. To transform Metro Manila into a humane and world-class metropolis, Metro Guapo, Tao Ganado. The Tao Ganado is promoting productivity. In the English translation, it simply means a vibrant metropolis breeds inspired, productive citizenry. At this juncture, I would like to encourage all of you to have the passion to adapt and promote the principles I have presented, which I called my workplace economics. This brings me to my last 2 slides. For the benefit of our foreign dignitaries, I have here my political will credo in 2 languages. If I may read the English version, this is my political will. That laws are solutions. That our laws are the people's collective wisdom. That our laws give the work mandate to every person to be a complementary part of a productive nation. That there are laws for almost all our needs and problems. That our laws, if simply enforced and followed, will lead us to peace and prosperity. Sa political will, titino tayo. For 40 years, I've been working using an American model hard hat. I have designed something new, and this is for the new, productive Filipino working man. With all the above promises I have made at the start, I really have to start this early. So if I may present this hat to President Fidel Ramos as my engineering colleague, as a tangible sign of my commitment to continue the work he has done for the Filipino people. Maraming salamat po. May I have the hat, please?
Maraming salamat po, Chairman Bayani B.F. Fernando, also known as Metro Guapo. Another round of applause, please. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, that was the first half of our panelists or presenters. And now we go to the second half.